You might have heard of Professor Alice Roberts. She's often on the telly, she's a historian, but she's also president of Humanists UK. Well, on Twitter last week she made a comment about the resurrection of Jesus. She said this: the coming back to life bit is unlikely. And the virgin birth, now you pointed out, it all seems a bit makey uppy. What Christians believe to Alice Roberts seems a little bit makey uppy. She gives the impression that to believe what Christians believe is naive and is really perhaps quite stupid. Well, is there anything a bit makey uppy about the humanist perspective of the world? A humanist would reject any notion of God, a God who created the world. Instead, a humanist would hold that organisms have evolved to produce intelligent life. Well, is that a bit makey uppy? When you simply ask the question, but how did those organisms come to life in the first place? Where did life itself come from? You might say the Bible's answer of the breath of God is a bit makey uppy. But science has no answer as to the origin of life. Yuval Harari, who is a historian and not a scientist, has written this in his best-selling book Sapiens. He writes this: for close to 4 billion years, every single organism on the planet evolved subject to natural selection. Not even one was designed by an intelligent designer. Well, that sounds, I would suggest, that sounds a bit makey-uppy when you contrast it with the words of a scientist. The chemist James Tour, about 20 years ago, he was part of a group of scientists who signed a petition called A Scientific Dissent from Darwinism. And the petition stated, "We are sceptical of claims for the ability of random mutation and natural selection to account for the complexity of life." But elsewhere he's written this: the proposals offered thus far fail to explain life's origin. They make no scientific sense. Beyond our planet, all the others that have been probed are lifeless, a result in accord with our chemical expectations. The laws of physics and chemistry's periodic table are universal, suggesting that life based upon amino acids, nucleotides and lipids is an anomaly. Life should not exist anywhere in our universe. Life should not even exist on the surface of the earth. And so you can look at life in all its complexity and conclude this must be the result of blind forces, of random mutation. This must be the result of blind chance. But does that sound at all makey uppy? There is another conclusion. You can look at intelligent life, of which you are part, and you can consider how it points to the super intelligent being who is God. God had purpose in his creation. And the good news is that means that our lives aren't blind or random or meaningless. Life does have purpose. And you can know that purpose by knowing him.